to my first ever live stream. We wanted to do this for ages, but to be honest with you, I didn't really know what I was doing. But I'm sitting in my car. I do a lot of driving around, part of the job, having a commute, and I do some of my best thinking in the car. So I'm nice and safe. I've got a body mic on. Hopefully you can hear me okay. Both hands on the wheel. I've got my seatbelt on, of course. And I'm just finishing off the day in my normal day job. And I'm driving home. So I thought I'm going to switch on the live stream, see what it's all about. So far, looking at the screen, and I don't know if I've done the right thing here, I don't have anybody watching me. So at the moment, I'm just sitting here talking to myself. Oh, I've got a couple of people join me now. That's nice to see. For those of you just joined me, I was actually saying that welcome to my first ever live show. This is my first ever live stream. I am obviously in a car. I have my seatbelt on. I'm safe. Hopefully you can hear me. Let me know if you can. Put a little thumbs up or something because I'm using a body mic. And I guess you communicate using the chat. So I've just hit rush hour, although it's not as bad as recent weeks because it's school holidays in the UK. Still doesn't help driving a gear though. I wish I'd got an automatic. This is my little Honda Civic. I've got 3 people now. Yeah, it's my little Honda Civic. I'm going to just adjust the camera there slightly. Bit better, I guess. And I bought this car for £1,000, £1,000. And the reason I bought it was simply because I didn't want to have to drive my lovely little Mercedes in and around London. Ironically, both this car and my Mercedes are compliant. And here's the funny thing, my Mercedes is 3.7 litres. This is less than half. This is 1.8 litres. And yet they're both compliant cars, but I just didn't want to keep driving it and the way that you have to park. Somebody's going to ding the door and things. So I left that at home. I bought this little car just to commute around. Nobody's going to touch it. But I tell you what, for a little £1,000 Honda Civic, I've never owned any Japanese cars before, and it's brilliant. You hardly ever need to service the thing. Let me just tilt this camera down a bit here. You hardly ever have to service it simply because they're just engineered well. There's no oil dripping from the engine like you do on certain other cars. I serviced the oil for the first time in 3 years. There is a video on my YouTube channel. The oil looked great when it came out. I'm really impressed. So here is my daily job sitting in traffic. As I said, it seems a little bit odd just sitting here talking to myself, but then I do a lot of thinking when I'm driving. I find it the most relaxing when I drive. Hopefully you can see me okay. I've got these twin blinds. Let me just close that there. Is that too dark? Yeah, that's too dark. Let's leave them open. This is the first Japanese car I've ever owned, and it's brilliant. Generally, I like my Mercedes, I like my German cars, my Italian cars, but I thought I'd give Japanese cars a go. And okay, so it's a little bit kind of tinny when you close the door, but it's all right. So this is the first test. I'm going to hang up in a second. Oh, is it a left-hand drive? I am, by the way, if you're wondering, I'm not reading, driving along. I am stuck. No, it is a right-hand drive. Good question. The problem is, for whatever reason, I do not know how to switch the camera around. I can switch it around so it's pointing forwards, but I can't reverse the image. So, you know, if I was to hold up something, it's going to be back to front. So here's my little bottle of water. It should say Buxton, and it probably is backwards. So yes, it is it's a right-hand drive car. It's not a left-hand drive car. Thank you, Martin. Right. First question. Look at that. First question. let me know if you think this is okay. I don't know if, are you allowed to, I did Google whether you're allowed to live stream in the car, and they said yes, so long as you are using your hands only to control the vehicle and that you are not touching the phone. Evidently, I'm not touching the phone, so that's got to be all good. Now, I've seen some live streams where people just literally turn it on and don't say anything. I'll keep talking rubbish if that's okay. Just going to adjust that camera. Well, we got 4 now. So welcome to the two extra people. Maybe I'll get enough people that will be into double figures. For those that just joined us, this is my first live stream. I don't know what I'm doing. I just thought I'd turn the camera on. So it is live. It is of the moment. It is 15:54 on a Wednesday. And it's the 20th of August. And I'm on the commute home. And as I've been boring the other members and subscribers, I do a lot of thinking when I'm driving, so I thought it's a good idea. I'll just stick the camera on and see. So I'm not using the phone, but I just seen a question pop up there about a Mercedes SL whilst I was stopped. And you're saying that you can't get out of second gear. Yeah, I've just done a service on the transmission on my Mercedes SL. If I was in that situation, I guess the questions I would ask are, was it working before? Think about what you've done or not done and why it suddenly changed, i.e., has it had an oil service? Has it had any new components? Or has it not had an oil service? It could be choked up. It's unlikely though. Mercedes generally are really good with their gearboxes. They're bulletproof. But if you have had a service, is the oil level correct? Now you can check the oil level. There's a video that I've done. In fact, it's probably my last video I did on the transmission, or the second video I've done. And I show you using an aftermarket dipstick. On you go, my friend, little taxi driver there. So have a look at that. Dip your transmission in. And when you do dip the transmission stick in, you get aftermarket ones. Obviously make sure you've got one for your car. It's got to be specific to your gearbox because they are different. And when you test the oil level, you've got to get it up to temperature. Now, if you haven't got a diagnostic tool, Martin, what you need is to make sure that you at least drive the car. Give it a good drive for 20 minutes, 15 minutes, get it warm. You've got to get it up to 80 degrees plus. And when you test the oil and you put it in the dipstick for the gear, there's 2, remember. The one that's nearest you as you're looking at it, that is for the oil. If you've got a 350, the Mercedes SL 350, which is a 3.7 litre. And if it's the dipstick, which is lower down, and it's usually got a black top, that's the one for the transmission. So the engine's got to be on, the gearbox temperature's got to be up to about 80 degrees, and you've got to be in park when you do it. So dip it in and see what the level is. There's usually 2 settings on your dipstick. One is for cold and one is for hot. But you want to do it when the gearbox is warm. So hopefully that helps you. Is that England? Yes, this is London, West London. And I've got a German truck to the right of me, so that's probably confusing matters. If you're wondering, I work at both ends of the country. I live at one end and I work at the other. And I've been doing that backwards and forwards commute for years. Quite some years. So yeah, it's a little bit different to driving in London. That's why I love the little Honda Civic. It's really nippy. I only bought it for £1,000. You can nip in and out of traffic, and it's great. Plus, I can park it anywhere. In fact, for those of you who are interested in the Hondas, I've got a Toto radio that I installed, and the company's just reached out to me, and they've given me a really top spec reversing camera, as well as a very soundproofed microphone, because normally you get mics and you can tell somebody's in the car, but this one's supposed to be tip top. So there's a couple of new videos coming out tonight. I've got videos coming out on the ABS sensor issue. That's the first one of a two-part video series. The second one is going to be on the reluctor ring, or the ABS magnetic ring. And I've also got some other videos coming out on how to change the water pump for your Mercedes SL as well. Can you hear me okay? If maybe somebody could let me know. This is quite fun. I've done this before. It's my first ever live stream. Let me know if you can hear me. Give me a little thumbs up or something. I'm doing, what, 50 miles an hour? Hopefully you can. Well, I don't want to keep talking because I don't want to bore you all, but at the same time, I don't know if it's boring just watching. So I thought I'd test the water. I've already answered a couple of questions, and that's what it's all about. That's why I do the channel. People have got issues, you know, just to let you know, I'm not a mechanic, never have been, but my life started off in and around cars when I was younger. And I've basically, let's just say, taught myself since the age of about 10. Got into engineering, and I always liked luxurious cars, but I could never afford to take them to the garages. So I thought, well, the only way to do it is either A, pay somebody else who kind of knows a little bit about what they're doing, or B, teach myself. So I got a Haynes manual. If you're in the UK, that's basically a manual on how to fix cars. You buy the right one, get the book, tells you how to change the brakes. You do that, get a bit of confidence, do the next thing, and then do the next thing, and so on and so on. So I think maybe for my first ever live stream, perhaps I'll call it a day. I really just thought I'd test the water. As I said, I didn't know what I was doing, so I hope it's not been too disappointing for you. These get saved, I think, so I'm gonna upload it, or it gets uploaded automatically. But yeah, if you unless you got anything else, let me know, but otherwise I'll end it. So let me know if do you want me to end it, because I don't really know what I'm doing. I put the radio on, but if I put the radio on, then I'm probably going to get a copyright strike. Can you do that? Don't know. It's not the particularly nicest surroundings for you to have a look at, but this is only my commute home. Stuck again. So just whilst I was stopped there, the person that's got the initials TA, where are you from? Just out of interest. It'd be good if there was a way that the messages would come out verbally. That'd be good. So I see a message come up there from somebody north. I've seen it, not going to read it. But when I stop in a second, I will read it. I'll have a little look. Just while you're waiting, just to bore you some more, the whole YouTube channel I kind of made by accident. What happened was, years and years ago, do you remember car forums? They're still very much a thing. And if you look at Mercedes-Benz forums, you'll see me all over them. I try and answer questions. Haven't posted much recently, but I do try and help people out there. And back in the day, YouTube was really not a very kind of not like it is today. It was quite sort of unprofessional in the sense of it was all amateur videos. So what I did is, somebody asked me a question on how to replace something on a car for a Mercedes. It was a bit difficult to type it and it could be kind of misinterpreted. So I said, look, easy thing to do. I'll do a little video for you. I'll upload it onto this new platform. It's called YouTube. And then you can have a look at the video and it will explain how to do it. That was back in 2006. And then years later, by accident really, I happened to look at the number of subscribers and I had about 600. I thought, why are people subscribing to me? What happens when they subscribe? So only about maybe 3 years ago, 2.5 years ago, even though I've been on YouTube since 2006, 2.5, 3 years ago, I decided, why not get a bit more professional, and here I am. So I promise you, I will answer that question if I can, once I come to a stop. But throw the questions out there, and when I do get a chance, I'll have a little look. I'm going to pull over at a petrol station in a minute, and I will see. Now, I've never really watched live streams. Is this the sort of thing that people do? I just don't know. I'm not really on social media. I'm certainly not on Facebook very much. I try not to. It's busy enough trying to do a day job as well as keep up with the YouTube channel. But yeah, maybe you can answer that question for me. Is this what live streams are all about? Because I really don't know. I think they are. I think it's a more natural approach. What's really nice about it is, usually, it takes me the same amount of time to film what I film that it is to put it all together and edit it. Because there is a lot of work going on involved in the editing. I have to cut out all the bits where I go, I make a mistake and break things. So doing a live stream is quite refreshing. Right, I'm going to pull over in about 30 seconds if you can wait until then, and I'll have a look. I can't stop at the moment because there's nowhere to pull over. Okay, pulling over. Right. Okay. So, Mr. Eagle North, Iger North, is it? Any tips on squeaky clutch? Squeaky clutch? Just stop here. With the Civic. Oh, I see. Right. Okay. I get it. Yes. The clutch. How annoying is it? And do you find, is it the same as this? You sometimes go in a second and it crunches into that second gear. I've tried to resolve that, and I actually did a couple of videos. The squeaky clutch, anything squeaky, generally, where you've got to, God, I'll tell you what, just while I'm talking about Civics, Jeremy Clarkson said this, and also James May. They really like the Honda Civic Mark 8. I'm sorry I'm going on a tangent, but let me just carry on going. They really like the Honda Civic Mark 8, which is what this is, 2009. But the one thing they said was, boy, the suspension can be really harsh when you go over a bumps. And they weren't wrong, by the way. It really is. I got 18-inch wheels on this. They did have 16s, but you feel it. Right, squeaky clutch. So when you put the foot on the clutch, anything squeaky in and around things where you got plastics, absolutely right. Silicone sprays are brilliant for that. They kind of almost bind themselves to the plastics. Silicone is also really good for anything where there's rubber joins as well. You've got to be a bit careful with rubber, because some rubbers will swell if you use mineral oils and lubricants. So on the roof on my Mercedes, they sell a silicone oil from Mercedes that costs the absolute earth. I actually found there was a printing silicone oil which you can get from Amazon for a fraction of the cost. Does the same job. So yes, if you've got a squeaky clutch, give it a spray. Is that what you're asking me? But it comes back, you say, well, okay, there's a rod that goes through and there's a nylon bush. It's probably polypropylene. So if the silicone tends to wear off, you've got a metal rod, which is stainless steel, going through that bush. I know exactly what you're talking about. You could just use some grease on there. You can actually get silicone grease rather than silicone spray. Try that and see. Did you manage to get the clutch off okay? That's the other thing. Because to get to that clutch, there's 4 bolts underneath, and you can pull it off its mountings. But you can sort of just about get on your back, and yeah. So yeah, give it a go. A little bit of silicone grease will help you. And if you find it's a bit awkward, you can also buy, if silicone's the viscosity is a bit light. Have you thought about maybe using lithium grease, the white grease stuff? That might help you. Just make sure you don't get in any clutch pedal. You don't have any accidents there. Any other questions? Just seen that. Thank you. You're welcome. The guy with the Honda Civic. Yes. Did you find that little thing I told you about, the left-hand side where the bolts protrude slightly, and you had to trim a little bit of the existing bodywork away? I'm actually using my Honda Civic at the moment, you can probably tell. And I was just mentioning before that person's just joined, in fact, I'm going to do it tonight. I've got a rear camera, but I'm going to install it. Oh, there's the police. I'm going to install it, you know, that little clear back window. This one. That one you can just see in the back of the camera there. I'm going to put the camera there. But it's a Toto rear view camera, which is for this car. There's also a very high spec microphone that's going in as well. Just so you know, for the Honda Civic lovers out there. Oh, got quite a few people now. I was about to switch off, so I must be doing something right. Yeah. So definitely lessons learned here. If I'm doing a live stream again, I will make sure I'll probably do it in my little garage. I am being safe. Got my seatbelt on, doing it hands-free. A lot of people say, you know, you shouldn't be talking and things as you're driving along, but I'm not breaking any laws. And the laws say so long as the setup is that you're hands-free, it's fine. I find I actually do a lot of clear thinking when I'm driving along. I do a lot of driving, and sometimes it helps for me clear my mind. I used to drive from Scotland to London, did it for 4 years, every single week. And I used to use my little Mercedes SL. Brilliant car for doing those sorts of journeys. I've also done it in this Honda Civic. It's been excellent. Wicked miles per gallon, by the way. Let's adjust the old camera. Any other questions before I maybe call it a day? For those people that are on it, I did mention earlier, nobody's answered me yet, but I would like to know, and this has been a great way of actually, you've asked me questions, so I'm gonna ask you a question. Hang on, there's my microphone pushed in, all right? I don't want that popping out. There's my microphone. Just changed my mic. Can you hear me? Is that better? Hope it's not rubbing. What I'd like to know is, when you guys watch other people doing live streams, I really don't know what I'm doing. This is the first one I've done. Is this the sort of thing, or is it a little bit more constructed? I just thought I'd turn it on, just give it a go and see. If it's not the sort of normal way of doing it, but it's still enjoyable watching, then maybe you can let me know. That would be really good. Any feedback, criticism, I don't care. Tell me. If I'm doing something wrong, please tell me. If I'm doing something right, that's also good. So I'm going to pull over up here. There's a little lay-by coming, and I'm going to have a look at the questions that have just popped up. So bear with. Right. Let's have a look and see. So I can actually see what the questions are. Right, what are people saying? It's great, mate. What's that? I like the free form flow. Oh, thank you very much. Thank you. Oh, it's police. Thank you, Iger North. That's really kind of you. Nice one. Okay, Big Dog. I like the free form flow. Oh, that was you. I like the free form flow. So thank you to both of you. You've given me a thumbs up. Thank you. A guy called Darren Rudy said hi. God, I need my glasses. Ah, thank you for taking me along for the ride, Big Dog. You're very welcome. You're very welcome. I'm glad it's kind of people's interest. I don't like to sort of bore people, but all right. Yes, that was my issue too. Okay, right, thanks. That was from Zach Struggles. Can you hear me okay, by the way? I'm using one of these cheapy microphones, but they're great. There's my little microphone there. I try and use body mics all the time because there's nothing worse when you can't hear people. Greetings from overcast Wisconsin. Oh, love your vids, very helpful. Oh man, you guys. All right, well, I won't turn it off then, so thank you. I could put it a little bit nearer, but I don't want it right next to where I'm driving. I'll put it here. I'll change my camera angle. and you can join me for the ride. Right then, time to accelerate. Okay. So my commute used to be once a week, 6 hours. And I know in America, you guys have massive distances, especially in Wisconsin. But in the UK, that pretty much takes you from Scotland to London. And yeah, I did that for quite a long time. So for those that have joined us, I might as well tell you, if you're wondering who I am, I work in engineering. I'm an engineer to trade. And I've always loved cars, always. It's something that I've always had a passion about doing. I generally like to be somebody that pulls into the car park with the most unique car, and I love it when I pull up in my little Mercedes SL. Just adjust this angle here. And I like to obviously maintain them myself, because I just get sick and tired of garages that rip people off. Really annoys me, and especially for female drivers sometimes. I'm not saying they're all like that, I'm really not, but I've been to a garage once before, just recently, a company in Glasgow, and they were horrible. They charged me an absolute arm and a leg, and put it this way, I was basically told to go, that my car was too old. It was a Range Rover L322. Love that car. It's the one Jeremy Clarkson has. If you know Jeremy Clarkson from Top Gear, don't know anything about the guy, but he has the same car. And it was my wife's car, and was a great car. I've since actually got rid of it, because I got a slightly newer Range Rover Evoque. But anyway, took it to the garage, asked them to have a little look at the drive shaft. It was making a bit of noise. I didn't have time to do it myself. And they said the car is just not worth doing anything with, which is absolute nonsense. Yet they still charged me for doing a whole inspection. They charged me for time and labor, because I had the car for a day, of which they spent an hour doing the inspection, and they wanted something, the best part of about £500 out of me for doing nothing, absolutely nothing. They said they did a diagnostic, which is kind of ironic, because as you guys know, diagnostics is my thing. I've got loads of machines. Anyway, found the owner, had a little quiet chat with him, and he phoned me up later on and he apologized. He wasn't there that day. Guess what? Got my money back, because he knew that I could pull his whole company down if I started saying things on social media, which I'm not that kind of guy that does it. But nevertheless, I just don't like it when garages do that sort of thing. So yeah, hence why I do the channel, try and help some people out and make sure that they don't get ripped off as well. Yes, it's getting busy out here. I feel you're a bit close to my face, so I'm going to move you back whilst I'm stuck. Hang on a minute. Bit better. You're from Perth? Perth, Australia, or Perth in the UK? I used to go past Perth. I used to work in Aberdeen, if it's Aberdeen. Perth. The real Perth, or Australian Perth? What is that noise? What is rattling? Something's rattling. It's doing my head in. Not so many SLs here. Not so many SLs here. Oh, I see. Not so many SLs in Perth. Yeah, but you guys must have the perfect country for it. My gosh. Sorry, is it Perth in Australia? Not trying to So one of the guys said, what type of engineering, what discipline? It's actually all engineering. What I did years ago, I knew I was always technically minded, but I didn't have any qualifications in that type of work. So about 30 plus years ago, I decided to basically go back to university, and I ended up doing, let me just turn off a ring. I ended up doing a degree in mechatronic engineering, which is an aspect of kind of all engineering really. Hydraulic, pneumatic, mechanical systems, control systems, electrical, electronic engineering. I'm probably biased more towards mechanical, just because my direction in my career is put me in those types of roles, just the way it was. But I'm okay with electronics. I'm okay with electrics as well. Car electrics, yeah, cake. I do home electrics. I've also got my, what they call 17th edition, which means I can do domestic wiring. Where's that police car coming? Yeah, so good question. But yeah, I have to find, there's a bit of thinking out the box, as you know, in engineering. And I like to, if I don't know the answer, find out a way to get an answer. You don't have to know it, you just have to know where to go and find it. Hope that answers your question. Was it Perth? I think so, yeah. Not so many SLs. If you haven't heard at the beginning, God, I've been going on for ages, I better hang this up. How long do live streams normally last? Is this normal? I've been on the thing for 37 minutes. For the guys that were asking me about Perth, the SLs, is it Darren? I can't quite see. He, just to let you know, if you've got a problem with your water pump, I've just replaced one, and it's on my Mercedes SL 350, and also there's 2 videos coming out, one of which is tonight, part 1, which got to sound like a Netflix series, doesn't it? Part 1 coming out tonight. It's for the Mercedes ABS sensor issue. I had a problem where it was a bit of a red herring. I'd done a service on the Mercedes, changed the gearbox oil, changed the little seals on the electrical connector. I also changed the filter. Worked great, couple of days, parked it up. About 3 days later, I went to drive it, and the car was lunging and speeding up by itself. It was horrible. And I thought maybe I put too much oil. Maybe I didn't put enough oil in the gearbox. And what I found out was I had a problem with the ABS sensor. So I'm not going to spoil it. Part 1's coming out tonight, and I show how to troubleshoot the ABS sensor. And then the second one will be coming out probably in a couple of weeks. Right, another little lay-by coming up. I'm going to pull over and have a look at my questions. It's quite fun. So if you bear with me for a minute, I will get there. I see some people put a live stream on and they literally leave it on like whilst they're cooking. Don't even say anything. Some people just put it on when they're watching TV and that. I don't quite understand that, but yeah, so if this is all right, if this is kind of normal, somebody said, thank you, I think it was Big Dom, wasn't it? Thank you for letting me come along for the ride. You're very welcome, by the way. As I've said and probably bored everybody already, that I do like to I do a lot of thinking when I drive. I find it the most relaxing time, actually. I don't know, until you get back home to the wife. Oh, I shouldn't have said that, right. Let's pull in here, little lay-by. Okay, message time. And park. Handbrake on. Handbrakes. How good are handbrakes? Better than those stupid foot brakes. Well, the foot brakes are all right. It's the automatic brakes I hate. You know, the electric parking brakes. Right. What have we got? How do I see my messages? Here we go. So let's go back to the top. Oh, it's Australia, the proper perf. Oh, man. Are you still online, Darren? Wow. Well, between you and me, yeah, I was emigrating to Perth. It's a sad thought. There was a tragedy in the family, and I never went. And I remember it well, going down to Hillary's Beach, if it's there. And just the best time. That was a long time ago, mind you. That was back in 2007, I think it was. Yeah, great place. I spent a long time in Australia. I actually used to live there for about a couple of years over. And every time I speak to somebody from Australia, all of a sudden, I don't know why, but my accent starts to go a little bit more Aussie. When I was a young man, when I was about 19, 20, I kind of spent time. I'm going to put my phone here. I'm speaking to Darren now. I spent time on the Gold Coast. Started off I have family in Sydney, and then I worked from Sydney. Got the coach. I started in Melbourne. Had an uncle and auntie there, and my little cousin. Then I went up to Sydney, and I got to Sydney, and I got another bit of family member there, and then I carried on going towards Noosa, towards Harvey Bay, Fraser Island. I worked and did a thing there, and then I was going to go all the way up to Cairns, but I didn't end up going that far, and I went over to Southeast Asia. There you go. Story of my life there. So hope you found that interesting, Darren. Let's have a look. What else? Put this back here. Stop moving around. Big dog. Thank you, sir. That's obviously, if you are a guy, I can't tell from the name, but that's really nice. I don't mind any criticism. Honestly, I'm at the age now where I don't really care. I just want to give something back, you know. I like to help people. It's what it's all about, isn't it? So thank you. That's really nice of you. Cool. Mine is a 2002. Oh, you got the 2002? Yeah. Some of the menus are different on the 2002, Darren, Ruddy. I know that you don't have certain things. Have you got cooling seats on that one? And does it have... There's some other features that it doesn't have on the 2002, but you got fantastic climate, so you haven't got to worry, unlike me up in Scotland, where, you know, there's going to do the car in. But yeah, I leave it in the street. I mean, it's still going strong. 187,000 miles. What else we got? Where are we off to today? Where are you off? Where are we off to today? I'm commuting home, big dog. I'm going home. I've done my shift. I get in very early. I don't know where you're from. I get up at 5, and I get into work usually for about 6:30, 7, and I get away about sort of 3 or so. If you're wondering what I'm working, I work. Yeah, I maybe another type of place I work. Okay. Oh, you're in Hillary's? No way. What, you live there, or you're on the beach in Hillary's? Oh, he's got heated. It's warm. Right, okay, so yeah, I think that was one of the differences. So on my one, I've got 3 stages of cooling seats on the Mercedes SL, but I've also got, obviously, the heated seats as well. But you know what? First world problems. I didn't get in the car to worry about the seats being cooled, especially where in the UK, you don't really worry about that too much. Air conditioning just works brilliantly. It's how it makes you feel when you drive it, not so much about how cold your ass is. Any other questions? Heated, yes, my body's warm. You live in Hillary's, my God. Lovely place, lovely part of the world. For those you don't know, yeah, okay. All right, well, how often do you... Oh, when you watch live streams, could somebody let me know, are they normally long? This is 45 minutes now, so... I don't know whether I save it. I know it will save on YouTube, but I don't know whether to upload it and let it go to everybody. I don't think I have to, but I'll carry on driving. And I'm going to get my ass to the gym. What I've noticed is a lot of my subscribers are actually online usually about 6 o'clock onwards. So this is probably a quiet time because just like me, they're probably commuting. Just see your message there, big dog. That's what I like to hear, man, after my own heart. It's funny how, I don't want to know your age, but if nowadays you can fix the world just on YouTube. It's amazing. Everything's there at your fingertips. So as much as that's great, and as much as I enjoy helping people and putting videos up there, a lot of the stuff that I've done, I've made mistakes. And you learn from those mistakes. You learn stupid things like, you know, how to use, and this sounds stupid, how to use a spanner or a wrench in America. A lot of people would say, what do you mean how to use it? You just use it one way. Well, as you well know, there's ways of using it. And if you get the wrong spanner and it slips off the nut, you're in a world of pain. Not only in a world of pain because you've probably got to find a way of taking that nut off with a nut splitter, but you can end up damaging yourself. You can end up knackering your hand up. Also, the different types of tools and things, you only realize just how important tools are. And I am staying away from my normal place of residence because I work away each week. So when I do these little videos, and I've got a dash cam, rear reversing cam that I might fit tonight. I don't have any tools. I've only literally got a pocket penknife, maybe some pliers or something. And that for me is the real challenge, is trying to do jobs when you're not at home with your familiar tools. I think that's more of a skill in most instances. A good friend of mine was in the military, and he said to me, he's an engineer as well. He works a lot on types of stuff that I deal with, rotating equipment, as well as electrical, etc. as well. And he said that when you're in the middle of the Red Sea and you haven't got any tools, do you think you're going to go and phone up Snap-on? No. You've got to get lateral thinking going, and you've got to think of a way to either make a tool or use something that you've got or existing. And that, I think, is sometimes part of the fun of it. So good for you for doing the work on your car yourself. I think for every job that you do, when you change the brakes on one side of the car, am I right? Guarantee you, when you do the other side, I bet you do it in half the time with half the tools, yeah? Because you know what you're doing, you know which angle to get in there, what tools to use, and you've got that confidence. Is the sound all right? Because I'm doing 70 mile an hour at the moment, and this Honda's all right. It's not the most soundproof car. I'm going to pull over again and have a look at the messages. That's the only problem, where you got to keep doing that. Oh, thank you, big dog. Sound is fine. Good. This little Chinese mic, by the way, you literally plug it into the bottom of your phone, and it's USB-C, and it goes to this little wireless transmitter mic, and that's it. It's great. So I really appreciate all the feedback. I've learned a lot today, and I maybe do more. To be honest with you, I've only got, you know, not that. I've had a few likes. I did have quite a few people. They kind of dropped off. They probably got bored. But for the ones that have stayed, thank you. So maybe I'll make it a regular thing, as I do a lot of driving. I don't think it's the best time of day to do it, because most people aren't on their phones. They usually do a commute in the morning. A lot of people are commuting into work. Maybe they're looking at their phones on trains and stuff. Yeah, well, I bet it is. So, Darren, you're in Perth, right? So, yeah, it's 1 in the morning. No, it's 1:45 in the morning, right? No, you're West Coast. You're West Coast, so you're going to be 8 hours. So that's 1:45. Yeah, 1:45. Have I got that right? 20 to 2. Oh, nearly midnight. 7 hours. Yeah, 22. Okay. It's good fun doing this. Definitely will do it again. I'll do it next time in my. I've got a little garden office. I'm only a small YouTuber. I'm not trying to get a big head here. But I do like to reach out to different people, and I don't mind answering questions. I do my best to try and answer when people send me messages and comments, but I can't get to them all. I just haven't got the time to do it. But I do try and get the ones that first come up as well. I get quite a few companies that are reaching out for collaboration deals. One of the hardest things about them, are there any other YouTubers out there? Let me know. The hardest thing is understanding which of the collaboration companies are scammers and which aren't. There's so many terrible people out there. You think it's a really good deal with I use DJI action cameras, and I nearly fell for one thinking it was from DJI, and it wasn't. But I get a lot of nice products sent to me, and I do give them my honest reviews. I don't just say they're good when they're not. I've done one recently for a company called GrooveOn. They do diagnostic tools. Most of my content is in and around diagnostic tools. And this particular one is a video coming up shortly. It's on the GrooveOn RT Diag 600 Pro. Yeah, I gave it a quick going over, and I plugged it into Mercedes. And so you'll see what that's all about coming up. There's also a special little discount link as well. But yeah, is there anybody else that is a YouTuber out there? I'd like to know. I might try and do a live stream again and just find out from others. All right, coming to a stop again. All right, Darren, I'll see what I can do. I'm not sure how I do that. I've got an email address which is on my channel, and you can contact me there. As I said, I do get a lot of people asking me questions, so forgive me if I don't answer straight away, because it's just trying to keep up with different questions that people ask me. As I said, I've got a day job as well, so you know. Yeah, I could put it on the. I'll do that. what I'll do, someone's just asked me to take the Mercedes SL. I've done videos actually when I've been driving around central London, and it's the funniest thing. We've got this thing in the UK called the low emission zone congestion charge. Don't get me started on it. It's one of the reasons I got this car. Anyway, here's the irony. The car that I'm driving, my Mercedes SL, which is 3.7 litres petrol, is completely compliant, completely allowed by the UK government. It's seen as an environmental car, and I can drive that fine. I can't go into the very heart of London, but then no car can unless you've got a really, really new car or it's fully electric. And in London, it's a different type of sound now. All of the buses generally, many of the taxis, many of the delivery trucks, loads of the vehicles, e-scooters, bikes, it's all electric. So you really got to watch yourself when you're crossing the street, because it's quiet, really quiet now. So yes, I will take the SL, but I did do a video. It didn't do very well. I thought it was going to do great. I did it about 2 years ago, and I had the roof down, and I drove all around the sites in London. I went Buckingham Palace, I went over Tower Bridge, past the Millennium Wheel, down through the West End, Piccadilly Circus, did all the sites, and I really enjoyed doing it. I really had a good time just driving around, my music on, edited it all together. But no, I didn't seem to do that well, but I had fun making it. All right, I'm going to pull over again and see what other messages I've got, and then I think I'll call it a day at that. Let's see. Thank you for all of the 230 material. 230? Well, as in 230. COK? Is that the COK there, Mr. BRM0312? That was one of my favorite little cars. If it is the CLK or the SL, oh no, SL, SL350, all of the 230 material. Not sure. Just trying to park. I'm in a car park if you're wondering. Is this really good live streaming? I don't know. Why can't people park, man? Hurry up. What are you doing? Right. I'm going to read some messages and then I will call it a day, because I'm going to get my ass to the gym. Sitting in a car for the last 58 minutes. Right, what else we got? What else we got? Need to move my thing down a bit. Is that better? Hang on a minute. Is that any better? Not really. Right. What have we got? Enjoy the live stream. Okay, Daniel, you're very welcome. I've enjoyed doing it, to be honest with you. Never done it before. So welcome to the first one I've done. I hope I'm doing it okay. Sorry, the R230. Yeah, absolutely. I get you now. Never thought of, yes. You're very welcome. Not many people know this, but the SL230, the reason I got that was simply because I was looking for a driver's heated seat for my Audi Cabriolet. It was the, what do you call it? It was the Audi TT. It had the turbo, it was the 1.8, really quick. And I had it tuned as well. And the heated seat, because it's a Cabriolet, in the driver's seat stopped working. And I wanted it to work. I saw that was the only thing wrong with it. So I pulled into this kind of low-key garage, there was a sign outside, and it was just full of German cars, every type of car you could ever think of, BMWs and Audis and Mercedes. And I said to the guy, "You haven't got an Audi seat, have you?" And he goes, "No, but have a look around." So I did. And at the back, there were 3 SLs. One was the 550. 2 basically had the ABC suspension. And at the time I was commuting backwards and forwards to Scotland, and I wanted to be a bit sensible with money. So I decided, well, I think the ABC suspension, it's not whether it will cause me issues, it will cause me issues eventually. So I decided I wasn't that brave, and I just went with the 350, the V6. I thought, I'll have the car for 6 months. I've had the car for 8 years. Love it. Absolutely love it. So that's how and why I got the R230. So yeah. Right, what else we got? You're very welcome, Darren. So yeah, there's more content coming, and all I don't go out to make the content specifically. If I get issues and there's things that I want to try and resolve, like recently I had to do a water pump and an ABS issue, then I stick the camera on and I film it. Enjoying the live stream. Welcome. BMW 312. That's it. R230 is it's the chassis code. Yes, you're absolutely right. R230, R stands for, I can't remember. R stands for something in German. Sometimes people refer to it as the W230 because most Mercedes are W. So, for example, and this is how geeky I am, if you got the old E-Class between 1996 and 2004, that E-Class is the W210. It's one with the frog-eyed lights, similar to what you got on the SL. Then you got like the CLK, which is the W208 chassis. Then you got the W211, and then you got the R231, which is a slightly facelift version to the SL230s. My first ever Mercedes was a Mercedes 190E. That's like the baby Benz. Love that car. Wish I still had it. Gearbox on that. Perfect. Again, most gearboxes, in fact, touch wood, every Mercedes gearbox, every Mercedes I've had has been an automatic, and every gearbox I've had has been brilliant. They're bulletproof. Really, really good. Any other questions? Oh, okay. So somebody said, can I say, yeah, are you okay for me to say that? Darren's Rudy has said he's got a great story about his SL. I'm really sorry for my ignorance. What I'm looking at, I'm just looking at messages pop up. But how does it look on your screen? Do you see everybody else's messages? If maybe you could say yes on that, because I don't know. Oh, right, yes, Daniel, right. The Apple CarPlay thing. Well, there's only a few of you on there, so yes, as I'm live streaming, I will tell you all about that. They were brilliant, the company. Ashore was the company, and I was supposed to do one video. I gave them all the information, as you know. It's turned into 3 videos. Took a lot of effort and time to do that, but they obviously provided the stereo to me, and it should have been plug and play. And even though I told them that I got a fiber optic system, blah, 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 the harness, from what I understand, only goes and works with the sort of standard setup with the standard amp. I have the upgraded amp, just that's how the car came, and it wasn't going to work. Now, to make that work, and I could do it, I really could, but I can't be bothered. To make it work, I need to make sure that I take out all of the command unit in the SL talks to the audio gateway, talks to the amplifier, talks to CD changer, the DVD navigation in the boot, and it's got to see them all in a handshake. And if one of them is a bit of an anomaly, then it will shut the system down. So I haven't got a CD changer in my car. The CD changer I removed, but in place of that, I have a little box called a Mr. 12 volt box. And the 12 volt, Mr. 12 volt gives me Bluetooth music streaming. It gives me a USB connection. It gives me audio, and it also gives me hands-free as well. So in all intents and purposes, the command unit sees that I've still got a CD changer, but it's just a different unit. And with that principle, what I'd have to do is bypass all the other components as well. Audio gateway, I think. DV navigation in the trunk, I'd have to do that too. And then I'd have to tie into the amplifier at the back for that to work. So that's where I got to with that. And I'm going to do a fourth video as a conclusion. I have started filming it, but I haven't finished it. So that's the update for the Mercedes stereo. How do I get more messages on my screen? Hold on a sec. Right here. So yeah, BM0312 is saying he's thanking me for the don't sell my SL because he needs me to keep fixing problems. He's just been given one. Okay, yes, thank you. What was I asking? Oh, you can see the messages, right? Yep, good. Thanks very much, guys. Appreciate that. Great video, thanks. I will message you later. Keep going. Okay, thank you, Darren. Is there a way to tell if you have the upgraded amp without stripping the car down? Yes. Have you got a diagnostic tool? Yeah. If you've got a diagnostic tool, you'll be able to get a part number. With the part number, you'll be able to search it. That's the easiest way to do it. But actually, have you never taken, you've never been into the, I'm pointing the back of the car as if I'm in the SL, but in the SL at the back, it's not that difficult to get to it. It really isn't. I've done so many videos where I've removed all those panels, and at A-Shore, I think that's probably the last one I did. You remove the side panel, and you then have to remove the fixings, which is for the plastic frame, remove that. And then most of it is quite straightforward after that. You can get to that amplifier quite easy. So I wouldn't worry too much. By a bit, when you first do it, yeah, it took me over an hour to do it, but I can do it in 10 minutes now. And that's the same like anything, isn't it? You do it once, you got the knowledge then, isn't it? All right, I think I bored you enough. I'm going to go. Thank you so much. I'll do another one, but it's been fun. And thank you for all the feedback and the lovely comments. It's the first time, actually, apart from messages that I get, where I've had it live like this. And this is my first live, what do you call it? Stream. So I'll say goodbye. I'll see you on the next one. Cheers now. Oh, you're welcome, Darren. I'll look forward to your message.